What is going on, guys? Demon here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a custom thumbnail for your videos. And I'm going to be showing you a few different techniques, a few different ways you can make thumbnails, different way of other people make thumbnails. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into this. So when you go ahead and Photoshop, file new, that's what you want to do. Just name it, I'm just going to name this tutorial thumbnail. And the width you want is 12880 by 720 pixels. Resolution, I just leave it as that. I don't touch with that, anything else. So once you go ahead and have that, you can hit OK, and you'll have this. Just what you want to do next is double click this and hit OK, so it's unlocked. Now I'm going to show you a simple way, like you can see in some of my thumbnails. They have the rising sun brush, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the letter G on my keyboard, or the paint bucket, which is right here. And you want to go ahead and go down here and pick a color. I'm going to choose a nice dark blue for this. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and click the background. And I think that looks okay, but I'm going to go ahead and choose a darker blue. Yeah, I think that's good. Actually, that's too dark. Choose a bit lighter. So what you want to do now is hit a new layer on the bottom right over here. And then once you have that, this recording, yes it is. Once you have open a new layer, hit the brush tool, and you could go on Google Images and find many different types of brushes, but for this one it's called a rising sun brush. And once you do that, you're gonna hit OK if you have it in there. I'm gonna do a tutorial how to put brushes in and later. So once you go ahead, have that, choose one you think fits you. You can, there's many different things like this one or this one, and make sure you have your color switched to white for this. So you see that's like what it looks like, but I normally go with this one or this one, but I think that circle is too big, so I've been choosing this one lately. So you can put it somewhere around the center. It doesn't have to be exactly in the center, but right there looks good. And what you can do is over here on the right side, change it from normal. It should show up as normal for you, and I usually put it on overlay or soft light. And then sometimes I duplicate the layer. You can go ahead and hold control and hit letter J on your keyboard, and that'll duplicate a layer. Or you can just simply right click the layer and hit duplicate layer. So once you have that, I normally put it again in soft light, but I lower the opacity over here to around 40, just so it's like a bit brighter. Alright, once you have that nice looking backgrounds popping out, you want to put some text. Now you're gonna have to find the text for yourself on Google. Go ahead and type in like amazing fonts or whatever fonts you want to look for. But since this is a thumbnail, you want it to be bold. You want it to stand out. Nothing thin like this one, for example. I'm just gonna write hello, 60 font. That's okay, but I wouldn't go for that. Something thicker like this, but I just don't like that what I'm seeing there. Something like this. This is pretty big. It's easy to read and it's some eye-catching. I'm gonna go into a bit into that later. Excuse me. So what I normally choose is one called correlation. Sometimes, not really. The one called Culture right here. I like this one. Pretty simple. And let's say, I'm just gonna choose a different text like update and video. Now notice I choose two separate layers for this because they are going to be the same, but it's the gradient map. I'm going to show that right now. But if you want to have this centered, like let's say you have one text and you want to put it directly in the center, make sure you have the one text clicked, hold control and click the bottom layer, which is the background, the blue, and then you want to hold control and hit A, and you'll see the dotted ant line around, and hit the middle button top of here and the middle button here, and it is centered. So just so you know how to do that. But for this, I'm just going to put it up here anywhere because this is just a tutorial. So let's say you have the text and it still looks eh. So what you want to do is right click one of the texts, blending options, and then there's many things you can do with this, but for now I'm going to show you what I do, or the simple way, which is eye-catching. You go for the stroke around 5 to 8 pixels, whatever you think is good for you. And then you want to go ahead and change the color, which is right there. And since this is a blue, I'm going to stick with the theme, but I'm going to choose a bit, not darker. You can go black with this one, but I want to choose like something like between that and that. So I'm just going to choose something right there. It's okay. It blends with it, and I'm going to go ahead and click Inner Glow. You want Inner Glow? I'm going to choose... You can sometimes do this if it works well. If it doesn't, don't do it. But this is just my personal preference. Blending mode, change it to hard light so you can see what you are doing. And you got like a nice little glow effect in there right there. And the thing that really makes it pop out is the outer glow. I'm going to get to that just a second, but I'm going to go ahead and choose a drop shadow. I normally put the settings distance at 8, spread at 8, and size at 8. But since this is a bigger text, I'm going to go with 12, 12, and 12. Looks alright. Now for the outer glow, you really want this to shine. You want it to be eye-catching so people can see your thumbnail and be like, wow, that can look like a good video. So I'm going to choose a bright color, light color blue, and okay. And I'm going to choose this to hard light blending mode. And I'm just going to go out with it. Not too much, but like it's around the text, but you don't want to spread out too much. Choose 45 for that one, 15. But since this is the inner glow, I said sometimes because it matches the outside, doesn't look that good. You can go ahead and actually change the color maybe. I don't know, you can go ahead and experiment this with whatever way you want, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it like that because I think it looks good. And I'm gonna choose, I normally choose a gradient map overlay, excuse me. And opacity, always 25, I do. And then you can do a color overlay, which is optional. And what I do is I take a light blue and okay, and I change it to overlay or soft light, so it has some of that color in there. And I think that is good. I'm gonna go ahead and hit okay, and then I'm gonna right click the text layer, hit copy, and then paste it onto the next one. But you see, I don't like how this outer glow is too much, so I'm going to go ahead, right click at blending options and just turn it down a bit. 35 is good, and there is a phone call. Give me 1 second, I'm just going to go ahead. Okay, they got hung up of their lifetime. Alright, so I'm really iffy about I'm gonna choose a darker blue. I should have went with a darker blue. Yeah, a darker blue is good because it's the difference between this and the text. I think, yeah, that really pops out a lot more. So yeah, that is it for this part of the thumbnail. I'm gonna show you other ways like the people, how to get people in there. And how much time do we have? 8 minutes, not bad. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete the text, delete that, and then I'm going to go ahead and find some random like background, Photoshop, So this is if you want like people. I'm gonna choose Bane for this one, why not? Alright, here we go. Oh, it did not copy. What you can do, if it's like background and you don't feel like double clicking it to open it, because when you exit and you have to hit no, just hold control, hit A. Oh wait, well, that should be white. Yeah, go ahead and hold. Wait, what? Oh yeah, I did delete it. Alright, so like, let's forget about that. So you have the guy here, you have your guy. I'm gonna go ahead and choose a different person because it's just, let's say you play Daisy, alright? However you say it. Oh yeah, like I'm saying, you want to hold control, hit A, everything is selected, then hold control, hit C for copy, and hold control and hit D for deselect. And you go ahead and hit it, and then when you're over here, sorry Bane, can hold control and hit V, and you got it right here. That's a really quick way of getting over there. So let's say you have like a nice little background as a thumbnail, but you just don't want it as that picture. Yeah, that's a disgusting color. I'm gonna choose a color from this background and implement it to the back. Give me a. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Alright, so I'm gonna choose a back, like something dark from this. Maybe it's Banana's pants. Something from here. Looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and paint bucket and just fill it in the background. Open this up. Now there's many things you can do. I think that looks good. Color dodge. I changed this to color dodge. What are we having? Soft light. I'm gonna leave it in color dodge, and then what I normally do is choose a text, white. Gonna go ahead like Daisy. I'm gonna choose like a couple different texts, like if you want to have many text to it, but you don't want to have too many. Since this is like the name of the game, you want to go ahead and put it in bigger. I don't know. Is this what? Yeah. You want to have like bigger text so you know, people know what game you're playing. It's easy to read. And I'm gonna go ahead and choose another text like with subscribers. Go ahead and lower that a lot. With subscribers, just choose it in a place you think is best. You don't want to put it in like in a light or whatever. With subscribers, I'm gonna put like episode #1. People like to put #1. I'm just gonna put 1. And since this is the episode, you want to put it in a bigger font than this, because this doesn't really matter with subscribers, but they want to know what episode you are on and what game are you playing. That's two most important things. And with subscribers, it's optional. So I'm gonna have it like this, and I'm gonna go ahead and go in blending options. Again, this is all personal preference of what you think works best with this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and choose a color that looks alright. Gradient, I'm gonna go right into this 25 color overlay. Choose a light color and hit overlay. I think that looks nice. I'm gonna choose a drop shadow, and I'm gonna choose a bigger distance. I'm gonna go ahead 14, 12, and 8. And there is the phone again. I'm gonna go ahead and ignore that. I'm just gonna pause this real quick. Alright, once you have that, sorry about that, I'm back. I'm gonna go ahead and choose copy the layer style. I'm gonna paste it in this one. And with the subscribers, I'm gonna paste it, but I'm gonna change it up a bit. As you see, the stroke is a bit too thick, so I'm gonna change it down to a 4. No, maybe a 3, because you don't want it too big. 2 is good. Gradient. Nah, I'm just gonna leave it at 25. Alright, I think that is it. I think that is good enough. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please leave a like if you did, and that will be all. Thank you, and bye-bye.